Hi, guys. Today we are talking about a story in the Old Testament about how God was moving and is mentioned in Genesis 5 through 9. Now, at this time, the world was full of anger and violence and evil, and God became frustrated. And so he found favor in one family, in Noah's family, and calls him to build an ark, and which ends in a result where God is making a promise to his family that he would never flood the earth again. Now, the story starts in Genesis 6, where God begins to put a time limit on humans' lives. And he begins to say, we're not worthy of living through eternity. And the time limit was 120 years. And he saw there was wickedness in people and just begins to get frustrated. And so what he decides to do is that he's going to wipe the face of the earth and the animals and all the human race to start over, to start fresh again, because what he was seeing was not pleasing to him. And so in Genesis 6 through 7, it starts to talk about Noah and how the Lord is giving him direction. Now, the Lord calls out to Noah, go into the ark, bring your family, your sons and your wife, and their wives, and you're going to build it with 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. There's specific instructions for Noah in building the ark. And he then says that he will establish a covenant with him, that as he enters the ark, his sons, their wives, and his wife will be protected and safe. But not only is he supposed to bring his family, but he is supposed to bring two of all living creatures, one male, one female, to continue repopulating the earth after the flood. Now, when the flood comes in, it says that there was rain that fell on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. Now, the 40 days is symbolic in the Bible in reference to, Jesus in the wilderness. But then it wasn't just, they weren't stuck in the ark for just 40 days. The land was filled with water for over 150 days. And so Noah tests by sending out a dove. And once the dove were to come back with an animal, that would mean that it would be safe for them to go back to land. And so once they have finally reached the dove getting an olive leaf, they land in the mountains of Ararat, and God tells them, bring out all the animals and let them free so that they can go and multiply within the earth once again, like they had once done. And so he calls the same thing for his family to go multiply. And then God wraps up the story in something so beautiful by establishing a covenant with Noah and his family, the ultimate promise that he would never flood the earth again or destroy the earth or people through that by the representation of a rainbow. And that becomes an everlasting covenant that God has not done any sort of flood since then and will not do that again. And so the main gist of the story, God was frustrated with mankind and their evil ways, but he found favor in one family that he depended on to start new again, to multiply, and because of their faith in God, he trusted that they were going to go out and teach others about the Bible and lead them in ways that no one else could have prior, because their hearts were pure and they weren't of evil or violence. They weren't filled with that. And so God then continues to keep the covenant, the ultimate promise between all living creatures through the rainbow. So that's our story for today. So just keep in mind that, God's continuing to protect you and lead you just as he would lead Noah. Thank you.